Okay. All right, well, you want to get started?
Yeah, let's get started. Call the meeting to order.
Okay,
And you got the members, Ray, that are here?
Yes, I do. Take
Okay.
minutes, or?
yes,
Oh, great.
Yeah.
We don't have any citizens petition comments or concerns. Okay, approval of the minutes from October
Or whatever. it
4th,
was.
October 4th. Any discussion, any corrections?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. All right, reports, Mark.
all right. We are currently conducting a community connectivity and trails plan. We're taking input from the community. This is to update a plan, the bike and pedestrian master plan that was done in 2005. So we're updating that. We've hired consultants to help us with that. If you're interested, you can go to Groton, Greater Groton online, and there is a survey that you can fill out, and we're encouraging the community to do that. There will also be a number of 5 different focus groups. And there'll also be like a public meeting where anybody can come and share their thoughts on what we can do to better connect the community through bike and pedestrian steps, sidewalks, bike lanes, trails, things like that. And community connectivity was one of the highest rated needs in the community needs assessment, which we did a couple of years ago. So that whole project will probably take about 10 months. We should be finishing sometime this fall. So we're working on that. We're also in the midst of a street tree inventory. The company came out in the fall and started inventorying trees, and they've come back this spring to finish up that project. Once we have the inventory, they're going to put together a community tree management plan, and it will help us identify areas in the community where there are not enough trees, areas in the community where there is not a great diversity of trees. And they'll have a number of recommendations of steps that we should take to improve the overall health of the community trees.
And this is strictly town roads, I assume.
Yes,
So
yeah, we're not
something
doing
like Allen
open
Street
spaces.
or,
Yeah, exactly.
The state roads or.
Right, yeah, the state roads are out.
Yeah.
We are doing a number of parks also where there's trees.
Okay.
They're looking at native species, Mark.
Well, they're looking at what species exist.
Right.
Hey, Richard, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. And then, yeah, so they will identify all the species. They'll make an assessment of the health of the tree. And make recommendations for where we should put in more trees and different types of, yes, native trees is what they'll be looking at. And our GIS coordinator has started creating an app that we can look at a map and see each tree in the community. There'll be a picture of the tree, and we'll be able to record the maintenance that's taken place. We'll be able to add trees to the inventory. We just planted 5 trees out here in Thrive. We'll also record if we take a tree out, so it will be kind of a live database of what's happening with trees in the community.
Who was actually doing this work?
We hired a consultant
That's what the
to
consultant's for.
come out and, they're arborists
Uh,
and they're measuring, the width of the tree. Taking pictures, recording the health, making recommendations for trees that ought to be, trees that they've deemed as hazardous.
Yeah.
We've already started addressing those.
Yeah.
Trees that need pruning. And like I said, we'll be able to, with this app that our GIS coordinator, the town's GIS coordinator has created, be able to record the maintenance that has taken place on the trees. We are in the middle of an athletic field design. So there has been an identified shortage of athletic fields in Groton going back
Years.
20 years or so. And we've hired 2 consultants to look at, determine what we need to do to meet the needs of, and so they are working on that now. The 3 areas that we're looking at are Clodchester School property, making some renovations to Sutton Park, and then also looking at addressing the shortage of fields at the high school.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, so that project should be wrapping up sometime in August or September. And from that, we'll have plans. We'll also have a budget. And then the next step would be to have a discussion with the council on, okay, how do we want to address these shortages, given the amount of money that it's going to cost? Do we want to break it up into 3 projects over the next 10 years? Do we want to just bite the bullet now? And, there are some real issues up at the high school with bathrooms. I think there's male bathrooms only down at the track. The women have to go up to the school.
Or porta potties.
Porta potty. The bleachers are not accessible by anyone that's using a walker or a wheelchair. So there's a number of issues that need to be addressed. And so that project is underway.
Now, the stuff at the high school, is that a combination of you and the board of ed?
Yeah,
That
so
maintenance, I mean,
yes,
you maintain some of that.
some of it,
Property
right.
or,
Yes, Parks and Rec maintains some of it. The Board of Ed maintains part of it. It's a collaborative effort.
right,
Yeah,
but I mean, you do the mowing or?
not all the mowing. We do some of the mowing.
Okay,
Um,
so like on the baseball field, you don't do that mowing, or you do it?
no, we're lining. And we do like the infield of the new softball field.
Right,
And we do some, it's different from
Yeah.
school to school and
gotcha,
yeah.
but they'll identify it as, and then whoever is responsible.
Yeah, and part of, coming up with a budget will be how much is, how many more man hours is it gonna take to take care of these different, and then we'll be figuring out who's gonna be doing what. Sutton Park. Right now, we are going through the permitting phase. First is inland wetlands. We have to go because of not Fishtown Brook, Fort Hill Brook, which runs right behind the
next to
skate
it,
park.
yeah.
And that's predominantly where most of the work is going to take place, is the skate park. So once we go through wetlands, then we'll go to the planning department and go through that whole permitting process. Hopefully, we can go out to bid later on this summer, and perhaps construction would start in the fall.
So these are new fields, not.
No, this
rehab.
is Sutton
Rehab,
Park.
yeah,
This is the
rehab.
skate park.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
this is the skate park.
geez, I would think that'd be existing use.
Well,
you
they're
expanding it?
expanding.
Ah,
The proposal is to expand it a little bit,
okay.
and the area that they're expanding is right.
Yeah,
next to
so
Fort
it's
Brook,
like
so-
runoff or something like that. or-
Yeah, I think they just want to make sure that, because it's pretty much an impervious surface, they just want to make sure that,
No,
things are being done the way they're supposed to
okay,
be and
yeah.
we're not negatively impacting the brook.
Mhm. The other parts of that program that gonna go into a capital plan request,
What's that?
the athletic fields at the high school and.
Yeah, so it could be. We do it through CIPs,
Mhm.
which would take us 25 years to do it, or we could look at going and bonding and just say,
Oh.
okay. And I'm just making up numbers, X millions of
Mhm.
dollars to make the renovations. We'll just bond and
Yeah, I see.
use that approach.
Mhm.
So, but that hasn't been decided, and that's not up to us to decide. That would be up to the council.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
this is a point of information
Yeah.
related to us, I guess, but what happened to Gloucester area, school area?
Well, that's one of the areas they're looking at putting in
Field.
athletic fields, and that would also involve taking down the school.
Oh, is that right?
And I think that would be included in the kind of the whole package,
Mhm.
the
Kind of becomes part of
the
Aquatic
demolition.
Plains.
It would be a good
I think
site.
Expansion of
for,
Aquatic Plains.
Yeah,
The whole-
really.
the whole concept there.
Yeah,
Whole complex.
operationally, it just makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
because you've already got fields, well, you've got fields at Sutton Park, you've
Yeah.
got fields at Aquatic Plains.
Sure.
Having fields right next door versus having to drive your equipment, all the way across town. Operationally, it just
And
makes
you
more
got
sense.
fields at the community center.
Fields at the community center, right, fields up behind the library, or a field up behind the library. So I don't know if you noticed when you came in, but the hockey rink
Mhm,
is down.
Mhm.
yeah,
We're replacing the dasher boards, which are the boards that go around. We received a donation 20+ years ago from Conn College. That was their ice rink. They gave it to us. It was a wooden rink.
Well,
Yeah, or wooden boards.
Yeah.
Well, the frame was wooden. It was some kind of plastic or fiberglass. The boards itself, but the frames holding what's wood. So they had deteriorated over the years.
Mhm.
We bought a used system that is aluminum framing, so it will hold up much better.
Weather, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
So this weekend, they're going to start, we've done some resurfacing, created a new base for the anchors for the different sections to go into. They saw cut around the whole thing, poured new concrete. So the new dasher board going up, and then it's going to be repainted. So that's part of a larger project. Right next to the hockey rink, we're putting in 6 pickleball courts.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, and we've got all of we're going through the permitting process right now. We're also putting up lights. There'll be, so the hockey rink and the pickleball courts will be lit. We already have FAA approval for that. The pickleball portion of the project will take place in June, and Public Works is doing that work. We are addressing ADA issues, both out at Par 4. They're making renovations to one of the bathrooms inside Par 4. And we're also going to be making renovations to the concession stand and the bathroom at Calvin Burrows to make that building ADA compliant. The work out at Par 4 started about a month ago. The work at Calvin Burrows is scheduled to start after the baseball season, so sometime in August. Staff updates. We're have some holes to fill. I just got another notice today that somebody's leaving, so in 2 weeks, we're going to lose a third of our park staff.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wow.
and
At
there's
this time of year, wow.
the worst time of year.
Yeah.
There's one other member of the park staff that told us he's looking for another job. So we could be down half of our park staff
Jeez.
for the summer. Thankfully, this year, we have been able to attract and hire some seasonal employees. You know, they're here for 8 weeks or so. They can't do the level of work that a full-time employee does, but it will help.
Hmm.
Last year, we didn't have anybody. And last item that I have is we're going through the budget process. We are 2/3 of the way through. And to this point, I almost feel like I'm jinxing myself. The council has not made any cuts, and the RTM subcommittee has not made any cuts for the Parks and Rec Department. We go in front of the full RTM on Monday, May 13th. So
Okay.
we'll see. And tonight's meeting, I think, will dictate what happens over the next couple of weeks. The Board of Ed is going up in front of the RTM.
Yeah.
So there,
That's good.
that's all I have.
All right, maybe we can move our friend up. Tri-Town progress report.
Hi, I'm Tom Olson. I'm with the Tri-Town Trail. I'm the vice president. We have two vice presidents, one for Preston, one for Ledyard, and one for Groton. I'm the Groton person. Over the number of years here, I think we last updated B Reynolds, who's also on the board. She lives in Groton. Also, she came a couple of years ago to let you know what's going on. I'm here to update you and ask for permission. Okay, the thing we're asking for permission, get that out of the way first. We had a sign like this exact sign that we had up in Preston. And we'd like to put one similar to this. We're going to change some of the words about our recreational trail, our logo is changed, that type of stuff. But notionally this, it's a lot easier for you to see it, to post a sign like this up on the Copp. Because by our master plan, which is also part of the Connecticut State Greenway, we're supposed to utilize Copp trails as a subset with Groton Utilities.
Right.
Now, where we are with Groton Utilities, I'll give you the full story here. Back in 21, we started meetings with them again. Our president, as well as with our Chad Frost, who is the designer of the master plan that we have, that started having meetings, and those were stopped by Groton Utilities because at the working level, they felt that that we weren't being cooperative with them. I don't know. I wasn't involved with it. And then I started attending the commission meetings, okay, in response to not having any support. And the council at base on their own volition, the commission hired a contractor over the course of 22 to go off and do a study as far as on what are the options that the Groton Utilities Commission has relative to allowing trails on their properties. That was a year-long effort. The commission, it was outreached and it was posted for a while on their website. But it basically, bottom line was that it's a 50-50. Half the utilities that are your similar situation, size, and have within the state allow trails and hiking on their property. The other half don't, like you don't allow it. So then for the next couple of months, the commission asked for a rebuttal from the staff, from the water department portion of the Groton Utility staff to the findings. And they gave their presentation in April. And then the chair, which is the mayor, said, I'm not going to make a decision on this unless we have 100% attendance at meetings for discussion and a vote on whether or not to allow further discussions, because we have, as part of that, was to have a trail start up on 17 along Route 117 here at the stone house there, and go over to the Copp. Because we were trying to link up that, because that portion of trail, it's about a mile. It would be very representative of having access to the water, using their driveways, their patrol roads, having access through gates and fence lines, as well as having non-fenced areas such as where the Copp portion would link up. So it was very representative of all the situations we would see throughout the rest of where the trail is on the master plan. The vote was held finally in I think it was in like June or July. It took a while to get everybody to show up. And the vote was, there was two commissioners that said yes, two commissioners said no, and the mayor said, I'm going to go with the recommendations of the staff, which was no. So it was 3-2 to cease and any further discussions as far as with us. So we have not taken any further actions with them because the mayor got reelected in November, and so we were going to wait him out to some degree. To be just being honest with you, as far as where we are, as far as from our perspective at this time, we're not. And meanwhile, we are up at the other end of the trail, because the trail is 14 miles long. There's 2 miles established down at Bluff Point right now, up to the Groton Utilities, literally their front door. And then we have 2 miles from the Preston Park, Community Park, going south on town of Ledyard and easements that the town of Ledyard holds, because Ledyard has an ordinance that Groton does not, relative to giving tax abatements to recreational trails easements within the town. Okay. So so they obtained 2 easements connected to the town properties together, and so we've got 2 miles worth of trail that's very heavily used right now. It's a new trail that was all built by us over the course starting in 21 and 22. So we've made progress up there. So we've taken this sign down up at Preston, and we'd like now kind of just post it at the Copp, just to kind of be in the middle and keep our foot in the water relative to where we're heading in the future. We have not given up, but we recognize the master plan was developed in 2008-9 timeframe. It was funded through COG, the Southeast Connecticut Regional Council of Regional Governments, with funding that was from Dominion Resources. And so that master plan it's supposed to be the 12-foot wide multi-use modal trail, similar to what you have down at Bluff Point today, similar to some of the trails that are at Copp right now, and utilizing a lot of the patrol roads that would be on the Groton Utilities properties. The trail that we've established up at the north end here is not. There's only one little section that it would essentially meet that criteria. What we're trying to do is at least get established there, and then as we can build that out as things come in the future. But at least we have a trail we're doing and having utilization for the local public up on the northern end. So that's the update as far as where we are on the big picture. We have money in our banks, but to continue supporting and doing maintenance on the trails. We did receive an ARPA grant to get additional signage, and this would be one of the signs that we would put in to post those both. And we've been working with Bluff Point. They originally only allowed us 2 signs, small ones. They have been posted, and we'd like to expand those. We're working with the NER. Now that they're in charge of having money to do upgrades at Bluff Point. I don't know if you're aware of it. The NER, there's it's through the NOAA, the National Oceanographic people. They have an office now down at Avery Point. It is the National Estuaries Research Reserve.
It's a sanctuary they established.
Right. But it's headquartered, and they have an outreach coordinator that's working with DEP. Is trying to upgrade facilities at Bluff Point to expand outreach for the communities, but with a NER twist on it, which is fine. They're doing all the right things here. Now, the NER itself has properties at Avery Point, that they coordinate along with Bluff Point, Haley Farm. And then down along the Connecticut River, there's a section also. With where Deep runs their headquarters out of.
Mhm.
So that's, but they bring money with them. They're talking $7 million upgrade projects for Bluff Point and all this kind of stuff. DEP is barely keeping the grass cut. So, but we're working with them also, and hopefully we'll incorporate a little bit better signage down there. But we'd like to have this and so Mark, I've talked to Mark about this through the Trails Coordination Task Force and with the Trail Summit that's run within the town area here. And he recommended that we come to you to make sure we have concurrence before we start putting postings up in the town park. So I just think we need concern. I don't know if you need a motion per se. I don't know where you are.
I'll move that we allow the installation of the sign at our trailhead, our main trailhead on Copp property. Is that where the right place, Tom?
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah, we were looking at, because that's where your parking lot is. That's typically is where this would be a trailhead. I don't need to use your kiosk. I'll bring my own. You can see there's already 2 holes in it already. But we'll be updating the sign. Just a couple of things because this sign was probably posted about 6 years ago up at Preston Community Park. And
Did you want to see that, Alan? Did you want to see
Well, I
the
was just
sign?
wondering, if you could just summarize briefly what it says.
It says future access point to the Tri-Town Trail. This site shall be part of a multi-use recreational trail across 14 miles of scenic Connecticut woodland from Bluff Point to Preston Community Park.
Right.
Helping the trail, yada, yada, yada. The trail enhances recreational transportation. Help join us. And we have got a QR code to our website down here.
I so move.
So Ray nominated, and you're second?
I'll
You're gonna second,
that.
Alan?
You bet.
All right, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
And this
Opposed?
is just the Copp board,
that's the
right?
cop board, yeah.
This cupboard.
Okay, so moved. Thank you.
And-
Just before you go, could you
Yeah.
just, for me, I've heard different things, but what's the gist of the utilities?
If you read the 100-page report, which is available online, or else I can provide you a copy. When the water division is very concerned about any type of contamination going into their water source, because they're a single source draw into the filtration plant. Okay, now they just upgraded the filtration plant to meet the most current and projected standards. Yeah, I don't know if you were watching the news here lately, but there's a PFAS was just picked up a couple of, I think 4 of the potential 20 PFAS things were authorized as far as for public water supplies nationwide, as far as your filtration. The Groton Utilities has already done that upgrade. They just completed that in the last 2 years here. That project took about, I think it was around $54 million in debt. When they took that on, that originally it's kind of like on a one of these flexible mortgages, so the rates keep changing on them. And so right now, the rates have gone up significantly since they took it on. That has caused them a lot of heartburn relative to staffing because they don't have the money to pay the interest off. Okay, in their budget. So they actually decreased by this past year 4 people, and a couple of those were the patrol folks. And so with that decrement in overseeing things, they felt that they could not take on the additional risk of opening the water courses up on their patrol, even to the patrol roads, because they feel that the general public is already dumping at their gates, that by allowing people to walk is just going to say that it's okay, that people will ignore their no trespassing signs. And so that's the concern from the staff people, because they feel understaffed. How can we monitor this? It's going to get worse. We're going to get a contamination issue, and then that's going to cascade to we can't provide our clean water. That's what was sold during their stay.
So the other half of reservoirs in the state of Connecticut that are allowing recreational activities, even on the water, doesn't have.
But it's again, they would, right now, the permit that the Department of Public Health issues that has, that to Groton Utilities is what we have today. They would have to go get a permit change, but we suspect, and that it would be approved. DEP has said that they would approve it
Right.
informally.
Right.
When because they actually did a study and said, yeah, it's okay. You know, we're not seeing that type of issue per se.
I mean, you got 95 going right over it.
You're preaching to the choir.
No,
Okay,
They've got some nerve, I'll tell you.
yeah. And a lot of people just go up to the MDC in Hartford and they've got paved trails and, literally hundreds of thousands of people around them. From their perspective right now, the reason that this portion is fenced, like literally outside the gate right here, is that they feel that they have abutters along other areas where you don't see the fencing, that there's a property that abuts them and that protects them. Okay, and as you go farther north, that they can stop through the damming and that type of stuff if there's an issue. So, and this particular area is very sensitive to them. It's the highest priority for them for that's why they put the investment in the fencing and everything. And they've had that mentality since day one, since they've established everything back in the 1950s.
Right.
Also, my personal opinion is that they had staff actually living on some of their property. Okay, so I don't know how you could justify living now. Those guys have retired and left, and they've torn the houses down. These are all up in Ledger. So they've been kind of speaking two different ways, and that's what we're just going to say. We've got some of the commissioners on board, and we're just going to kind of wait and see if we can get a majority to at least have us start working with them and coming up with but our goal is still to get onto those patrol roads as best as we can, and then there's some sections for connectivity to get there that we'd have to develop,
Right.
But we're willing to go do that and working with whatever they come up with the necessary security to meet their. But that's kind of what we're trying to get a pilot in price for this one. The first mile is always the hardest.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Holy cow.
Yeah, really.
Mileage that would be required to get for this connectivity would be what?
Well, there's 10 more miles to go. We have 2 miles in Ledyard right now from Preston to Ledyard, and then 2 miles already here at Groton up to the gate. So the remaining 10 miles is the middle 10 miles is what we're talking about right now.
But it's not 10 miles on utilities property.
It's almost, other than there's 2 so we're working on the last linkage. The rest of it would be on utilities and then with the Copp.
Is there any way to, if the water company was willing to set their fences back to run the trail up 117, and I guess you still have the cut across problem, right?
Right, if the trail there's flexibility, but we're trying to utilize established roads that are already there that go through their patrol roads are underutilized, to be brutally honest, from our viewpoint, looking in. Okay. They claim that they go out there once a week.
I've never seen a car on those.
The only time
30 years here, I've never seen a car on any of those.
Now, Avalon, Dennis and Pequot runs tours a couple of times a year up on the Ledyard off of Sandy Hollow Road in Ledyard. Okay, there's a nice overview that's right on the road there. And when they run that, they actually bring a truck with them and 2 Groton Utilities people to escort the Dennis and Pequot person that's providing the nature stuff, and they do a loop. There's one to the north and one to the south. Okay, but they actually saw. That's the only time I've actually seen a truck. And when we've had when the consultant was here and we were able to walk him. They had 2 trucks and 7 Groton Utilities people with the consultant and myself and Chad.
They're specially trained. Those are Groton Utility SEALs.
So
they see no upside
They see no upside.
And
Well, and I've heard
I-
them say, we are Groton Utilities owned by the city of Groton. This is not in the city, so, and the city people are not gonna get any benefit from this, so why should I be putting risk out there? And I understand that logic.
yeah,
And so we're trying to come up with, and we appreciate that they went off and did pay for this consultant study. It was over, I think it's like $32,000 or something they put into it. So, and right now that they just don't feel that they can take on the additional potential costs to keep the staff satisfied. Okay, so that's the
Right.
rest of the story.
Oh, thanks,
That's
thanks
what you're
for
looking
the,
for.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it's gonna probably be a while before we actually be able to take the sign down, but we'll wait and see. So we're working at it.
All right, well, we'll give you a call if you're not maintaining the sign.
Okay.
gonna take-
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for that. And I think I've always been really supportive of the Tri-Town Trail, and I've only got 4 words to share with you. Read the Power Broker. This is literally what it's about.
Okay, appreciate that.
Well, I'll restate what I've stated before. The no trespassing signs.
Good night.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see.
Like Groton Utilities are encroaching further and further. Last time I was out there, even further into the Copp property, private part, the town, Groton town
Oh,
property.
yeah.
Even further. They used to be up at a point where you could say, well, they couldn't put the sign where, this is according to a survey that Gary, I think, gave. But I got it from town source, survey the property. And it used to be, well, they're a little bit too far this way, 20 feet too far this way compared to the survey. But now they're football fields into the area.
Oh,
They
right.
do block off the blue trail, which goes down, which will be connected to that stone house, very close to that stone house.
Yeah,
And the ones where I initially noticed them were up on the yellow trail, which is on the cliff overlooking the waterworks. Not
Right.
waterworks, the
dredging up, right?
quarry,
Yeah.
quarry stuff. But they've spread way down in. It's just horrendous, They don't patrol it, I mean, that I know of. I've never seen anybody up there, but still, it's more encroachment. I don't know what we do about it. But I just don't know what to do. It just makes me mad when I go out there.
I don't know, Mark, do you think you could have somebody from the town look at that and how far they
Yeah.
encroached?
yeah. Yeah, I think
And then,
the town has a surveyor on staff. So
Oh.
I could ask that he go out and just
yeah, see,
line and then, yeah,
yeah, I think we need to know that.
right,
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure I got it from Gary Schneider,
okay.
and I give it back if you need that, but I'm sure there's a.
No, I'm sure that we have
Yeah.
a copy of it, but yeah, I can ask Greg Hanover,
Uh-huh.
Is
And maybe Ray, if you'd go out with him maybe at some
I'd be
point
glad to.
and
I'd be glad
show them which signs you're talking
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
where they are, and
Be glad to.
Okay, yeah, I will do that.
all right, we're at, did Paul send a treasure report?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he
Didn't see that
didn't say-
attached to anything that he sent, right? Okay,
No,
all right, any unfinished business that we didn't list?
hey,
Hey, how are you?
Well, other than I could not get the college IT system to accept your Zoom invitation.
Oh,
So here you are.
It's not like you.
No, huh?
Hmm.
Too many firewalls, huh?
I think it's something to do with Zoom,
Yeah,
because you can interrupt Zoom. And they've had things about people putting in obscenities.
That's
and
right.
You can break into the system.
Mhm.
So they have all these things in place and it's hard to do anything. So they use WebEx.
okay.
That's the school?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting and I'm finishing up my meetings. Hey, we got out a little early. Man, I'm gonna be in there like 10 minutes after you started. Nope.
Well, the good news is we have 2 quorums now. Right? We got 5. Yes,
Yes,
Yes.
GPF, we
So
didn't
we're
have it for GPF.
we're all good.
Yeah.
That's good. Excellent.
All right, so was there any that we neglected to put on the agenda that were unfinished? Luminary? Is
Yes,
that-
Did we skip over, excuse me, did we skip over update on donations?
Yeah, so I can.
Oh,
tell
okay.
over
Do you
the
have
last
that?
6 months, we have received $252 in donations. It would have been more, except the Luminaria walk
Oh, yes, yes.
was rescheduled again because we just can't
get a break.
can't catch a break for
Yeah.
the weather. So people had paid to do the walk and then we had to refund their money.
Yeah.
So it's rescheduled for this fall.
Yeah, that we need to discuss a little bit here.
Yeah,
Cindy did put out something with some potential dates. We did have to cancel again
Yeah.
in March, because the one day of the week that it just poured
right.
happened to be our day of the week. I had some concerns just because of all the rain we've been getting, one trail out there, and I actually put in
Yes.
that request to
Yep.
maybe have that culverted.
Right.
Essentially, there's a stream flowing across
Yep.
one of the trails, so
Right.
it would have made it very challenging to conduct the walk, even if we had had the weather. So right now, and I guess if everyone gives me permission to go back to Cindy and start talking about dates, we'll copy everyone here. Cindy was throwing out, they had done some research as far as what the best dates in October. I think October is a better time to go. I know it's busy, everyone's doing fall stuff. I really had some hesitancy about March, and that hesitancy is
Prove it out.
increased to resistance. It's just it's too cold, the weather is too dicey, and the ground is just too wet. So I think fall is, and we're trying to find some date that doesn't conflict with a million other things that everyone's squeezing in the fall, so.
And Farmer's Almanac, you can just flip up to.
There we go, yeah.
October 17th.
So hurricane will want to avoid that date.
Rain or sunny, right? You'll know.
Yeah, and we actually talked about canceling and trying to reschedule a week later. But then we started looking, you guys are getting into your busy season. It just, and the weather had just been so miserable. It seemed like every weekend was getting targeted. So I'd be glad to take on opening. I kind of put Cindy off a little bit until we met, but I'd be glad to take on reopening that discussion to.
Yeah, it's good. Sounds good.
I mean, we basically had been meeting regularly. We had and Mark, kudos to your staff. They've been great with this, organizing it. We had it all ready to go.
Yep.
And we literally had to make a look at the weather, I think Tuesday before Saturday, and just said, no, I think we waited till Wednesday and just said, no. Yeah, it had us just dialed in, and then it rained 2 inches that day. So, yeah, so I'll go try to start that up. So we try to focus on a date, and we've certainly done this a couple times. We know what the drill is now, so planning is not going to be too odious.
Okay, new business is election of officers, Groton Parks Foundation. Any nominations?
I would recommend continuing the same slate of officers. If they're willing to continue.
Since he's not president, could we make John, as well as the president of GPF, make him also secretary?
You know, that's for life,
That's a-
Ray.
That's
Oh.
a heck of a try.
Nice try, though, yes.
All right, you made the motion,
Yes.
second? I'll second it. All in favor? Aye,
Aye.
opposed? Abstentions? All right, so move. Next one is election of officers, Copp Board of Overseers. Any nominations?
Same motion there.
The motion? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Right?
Aye,
Aye.
opposed? Abstentions? Beautiful. Okay. We didn't even have a railroad whistle here
No
for this
signing
one.
bonuses either.
No signing bonuses. Okay. Now we have the Noank Community Gardens grant request. Everybody have a chance to look at that? Any discussion? Any questions? For Mark, I think you explained some stuff in email.
The Noank Fire District has, over the last 2 years, donated $10,000 towards putting up a fence. There was a fence there a long time ago, and it was in such disrepair that we had to take it down, just for safety issues.
And the bid is 15 grand,
It
that's
is
what you need.
15, right? The one bid that we've had so far, we need to get 2 more, and we're working on that.
Yeah,
Right now, the fence folks are just flat out
I bet.
putting in fences because you don't make any money on quotes.
right.
So
Right.
they're putting in fences and like I said, I think we've also had $700 in donations from folks that live up in that area. And the community garden up there has increased, the number of plots have increased significantly.
Well used then, huh?
It is, yeah, yeah. It's not as big as the community garden behind Human Services, but no, I can't, there's 25 or so plots, I think. Yeah, and we just had a group from the Navy base, the sub base come in and do some work. And yeah, we really need a fence up there, and it would be a 6-foot high chain link fence.
This is primarily to keep the bunnies and the deer out.
Yeah.
or A
Yeah.
security thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just to keep,
keep everyone that's not supposed to be there.
right, yeah,
Mostly for like.
critters, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Discussion?
You have a motion to approve?
You want to make a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve $1,000, right?
$1,000.
$1,000.
Second, Jim seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so moved, unanimous.
I
And that-
believe Andy wrote that he was in favor of that, but I don't know if that counts
Yeah.
as a vote.
We're not giving him any credit.
Good.
And the community garden is managed by the Parks and Rec Department, so there is a direct,
Oh, really?
yeah,
That's,
yeah,
know that.
yeah. We rent out plots, and so people come to our office and sign up for a plot.
Is it a free sign up or you actually do rent them out?
No, we rent them out.
Oh, really? That's a nice income then,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you need
all of
a power broker. That's a key thing, income.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's got to pay for his new parks person.
Yeah.
Come on.
So in
Floatable.
turn, you provide the raised beds and
Yes.
soil and
Right,
fence
exactly.
and,
Right,
yeah.
Yeah.
Water, I guess. Do they have a
Yes.
water source up there?
there is, yes, yeah, in fact, Public Works is supposed to. Right now, we have a garden hose that runs across the field on top of the ground. And Public Works is supposed to bury it and come up to and create kind of a multi-port system where people can hook up more than one hose. So,
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, then we have the grant request for the USS Groton Sail Monument Project. I think everybody got that as well to review. Any discussion?
I forget the details of that, frankly.
I mean, it's pretty elaborate, the design of that,
Yeah,
impressive,
Yeah.
But that's because of our grant request and.
Yep.
Was it, I don't remember. what they're asking for.
$1,000.
Oh, it is $1,000.
Yeah, that's,
$1,000
right,
to,
that's, the current guidelines. Applicants may apply for grants up to $1,000.
Okay.
Seems like a good project. I've always come in right when they're ending their meeting
Mhm.
in the library.
yeah,
Mark Oldfinger and Jim Streeter and,
Mhm.
yeah, it's an impressive
Yeah.
looking.
Gonna
It
be
is, it's
very
From
impressive.
a rendering there.
Great, great location on 117 there, yeah,
Oh, right.
fantastic location.
so they've definitely been working on it. So
Yeah.
I'd be in favor.
Okay,
So if you need a motion, I'll make.
go
a
ahead,
motion
make a motion.
to approve $1,000 for the USS Groton Sail Monument Project.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed unanimously.
We did have a tangent issue there with this that John brought up, that they were going to want to use us for grants as a conduit for if they wrote grants. John sent some emails out a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, really?
That was the one I jumped in and said, I love writing grants, and he corrected me and said, no, this is if the foundation writes a grant that they were going to use us as a nonprofit to park the money, the grant money coming in.
Oh.
Maybe you better wait for John to get back.
I thought they had a mechanism for that, because
Yeah.
they've collected a lot of money
Yeah,
already, right?
collected a
The-
Money
lot.
a rot, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought,
Oh, it might have been for the, so I have 3 checks right here. I was hoping to see John. This is for the community garden.
And maybe,
So I
okay,
think that's what it might have been.
okay, maybe that was it.
But after these first 3, it's been 3 or 4 weeks and I haven't received any other checks. So, yeah, and these 3 checks are made up. Right.
Okay, maybe that was it.
I think that was it.
Yeah,
I think
I
it was the-
thought it was the monument,
I
but
don't
I'd have to go
think
back
so.
to the emails and
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
okay, and
Yeah.
this is for the fence?
Yes, yeah. So
okay,
John's feeling better,
We'll
get these to
clarify
him
then.
and,
If I think of it tomorrow, I'll go look at the emails. There was a
Okay.
flurry going back with all of us
okay.
on something. It was, I thought it was the Sale Monument,
Oh, okay.
but
Well, maybe it was. I just know.
let me dig
these-
it out.
These checks.
Yeah.
All have to, put in and then we would have to write a check
Yeah, okay.
for the $1,000 plus this.
And maybe this was it, but
Yeah.
I thought it was similar to what we did with the open space up on Flanders there,
Wolfbrook.
where, yeah, Wolfbrook,
Yeah.
where they were using
Right.
us to park money.
Yeah,
Okay, let me
okay,
dig the emails out
okay,
and see what I'm confused about.
all
I'm
right.
sure it's me.
any other, by the ways or anything? Anybody have? All right, next meeting would be October 2nd, I believe.
Do we
Does that look
wanna
right?
set a date for our mosquito and sweat tour park?
If we make the first Wednesday, we won't get to kibitz about the election. That's gonna be a disaster.
Don't start.
What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear all of it.
That following Tuesday is a national state, everything election.
I don't know.
It's heading towards,
I don't know if it'd be worse to meet right before or right after.
it's late after you could kibitz on what happened or what's still happening. It's
Yeah.
sort of scary if you look at all the things that are going on. Anyway, that's probably good timing before.
Yeah, all right, so the second of October is our next meeting. And,
Actually, that'd be good because I'm thinking the Luminaria is going to be first, second, or third week of October. So this be a meeting just before the Luminaria.
okay,
Okay,
all right, and then you said about the walk. Mosquito,
The mosquito tour.
the
tour
DEET,
de-
the
to-
DEET
tour de
test
DEET.
center.
Yeah, tour de DEET.
Do you wanna set something up?
So we could combine, put the walk on the front end of the meeting, couldn't we? Or do you want to have a separate
Oh.
visit?
No, that might work,
Good,
and
we can
then,
do that, yeah.
and you could also see the luminaria. It won't be set up then, but at least you could see the luminaria
Area.
cores.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the mosquitoes will,
Yeah, the mosquitoes won't be.
Won't be there.
It's hot.
yeah.
So our meetings normally start at 6, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So when would you set the
October.
walk up for that day? How much earlier? 4?
It's, yes, we're not out there more than an hour, maybe meet at 4:30.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally right up the road here. It's 5 minutes from down here.
Guess it depends on which path you take when you go out for
Yeah.
the grand tour.
Or
How many
have to go
signs?
down and look at the trespassing issues.
How many signs we're gonna relocate?
Yeah, everyone bring a hammer and
Small-
nails.
Small explosive devices.
All right, 4:30, Alan,
4:30 on
4:30
the,
on the trail.
on the second on the trail.
Bring your sickle.
Bring my sickle.
Chainsaw.
Yeah,
It's not bad. You know, the trails I've been walking on, they're not inundated. I've been staying more over to the west side. That's where I go usually, but,
But Alan likes the bushwhack, so.
okay. Dick, where was that trail that's, come by a stream?
It's actually on our luminaria loop. You go down on, I think it's Yellow Trail past the dog park, over the bridge.
Yeah.
As soon as you go over the bridge, the luminaria, the Yellow Trail keeps going way down to when we encounter the Berlin Wall, with, the water company.
Mhm.
But right there after the bridge, a trail, I think it's
Yeah, you
Purple
take a-
Trail, takes a hard left and goes north.
Okay.
And there's a you'll go up a little hill and then you'll go down into a little swale. If you were at the first luminaria, it was close to where the band was playing out there, and usually during the summer, it's just kind of a little damp down there, but we've got so much rain that it literally is a stream. Not an impressive stream, but it's flowing, so, but I put in a request to have it looked at for culverting.
Okay.
And Mark has been good enough to start shepherding that through, hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't, I think it'd be pretty simple, but you got a wetland and you got to
Right.
size a culvert and all that crap, so.
Okay, I think that's it. Motion to adjourn.
Hi.
All in favor? All right. See you all
October.
in October.
Just out of curiosity, because you might have covered it before I got here. They used to put out where one of us would volunteer to go on a month to go walk and then turn a report into Mark.
Yeah.
We still doing that?
I've been doing it. I think I was signed up for February and December.
Just curious.
Is anybody doing it? You're saying, you're doing it?
Yeah,
You're doing
if I remember to send out the reminder.
it? Okay,
I need.
yeah, send them out. I think that's good.
Because I go out, I usually go in August just because it's a good time to go and.
Yeah,
I don't know if we need to do it every month, and I mean,
It was just scattered.
I was out in December and I put in the requests, and thank you very much, whoever, all those dead trees in the event area
Yeah.
were all taken out.
Yeah.
Usually when I go out there, I'll talk to
Yeah.
people that are out
Yeah.
there. That's where I found that thing about the barbed wire that I said.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we've collected quite a bit of barbed wire.
Yeah, I've seen the flagging out there on the
It was mainly
wildfire.
for people with dogs
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would let them off leash,
yeah,
yeah. and
which
they
they
go,
shouldn't have,
right.
yeah, and
but the dogs that go over there and
Go
that
wham.
barbed
Yeah.
wire was down quite a few places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lady. Whose dog got so tangled in the barbed wire that she had to call the police.
Oh, wow.
And the skin on his hip got all torn
Oh,
up.
yeah.
And she had to go to a vet, in Southern Connecticut, once a week to put him in some kind of air container so that because this, he's constantly moving, the skin wouldn't heal.
Oh, yeah,
So they had to,
like a bariatric.
Oh, yeah, bariatric,
yeah.
increased oxygen for healing, yeah.
And she was going down there once a week.
Oh,
That
man.
must be cheap, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the vet bill there.
Oh, gosh.
Another question, just out of curiosity, when I came roaring through the door here, I go charging over to
Yeah,
classroom A
yeah.
and it is dark. And I figured, you guys had a short meeting. It's over. So
Yeah.
I was heading back out the door and I said, yeah, I'm gonna ask the guy there, because they got an RTM meeting going over there.
Yes.
Finding a parking spot out there is another story.
Yeah.
So I said, did the cop board finish up early? He said, oh, no, they're around a classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wandered right
Almost
down here, but then a
Yeah.
couple other people wandered in. I guess it was some real estate
Yes.
seminar or something. I
Oh,
said,
that was
who are
what-
you guys?
So just before I think you came in, we had the update on the Tri-Town Trail. And what we did was we did approve them to put a sign up on the Copp property about future entry point for whatever,
Good.
you'll probably see that because I'm sure he's going to put it up, fairly soon. So he gave us a little.
He being
Tom
David,
Olson,
okay.
He's our Groton guy.
he's the co-president,
Vice
Uh,
President Groton.
vice president of Tri-Town Trails
For Groton.
representing Groton.
Right.
They have three.
Ledyard, Preston and Groton, I guess, right?
Also, is he the conservation guy in Groton too?
Yes.
Conservation commissioner or whatever?
I think so.
Another thing, just out of curiosity, I've been looking in the newspaper on Sundays for the notice board for activities. And GOSA has been hosting several walks on their various properties.
Mhm.
They had one about 3 weeks ago at the sheep farm.
Yes.
They got one coming up this weekend at,
Avery Farm.
I don't think so.
I gotta think about that. It wasn't the thing off, what was the one? But it's at 2:00 this Sunday. And I made a note, I just can't remember which property it was.
You can go to their website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just curious if anybody had been on any of those.
Years ago I did, but not recently.
I was curious how many showed up and
Mhm.
what it was. I'd like to go on the sheep farm, but I was on travel.
They GOSA leads walks as part of our summer camp. Each week they have a group of volunteers. And it's one of the most popular activities. Kids just love getting out. Last year, I think all 6 weeks were at the sheep farm. This year, they're actually each week is going to be a different site, but it's, the kids can sign up.
That was-
at one of the, and it's amazing the number of kids that will say, oh, I never get out in the woods. I never, yeah, it's.
Yeah.
It's
What was
unfortunate.
It
It's
is,
like on
it is.
Fishtown Road, and it's in a figure eight. The one they're having this weekend.
Oh, okay.
What do
Oh,
they have off Fishtown Road?
Figure 8 Fish Town.
Uh,
Oh,
the,
no.
It's not the thing up near the Whittles. It's not that one,
no, yeah.
but I looked at it, and I said, I haven't been on that one, so I'm sort of curious.
It isn't, close to Fishtown Road is BB Park, BB Trail.
Oh.
Yeah.
They mentioned
and
two
it's-
different places,
yeah.
Fishtown and one other
It's
place
not Mortimer, right?
is a road to start. And they said it was in a figure eight. It's 2 miles.
Yeah, that sounds like BB Park and Avalonia's got a tie in there too. It's the only thing I
I'll
can
go back-
think
I'll
of
go back
that's
and
off
check
of
it out.
Fish
Curious if
Town, but
anybody
that's
ever
not
done it.
Goza, that's
No,
town in Avalonia.
Have a
Okay.
good summer, guys.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hey, Jim,
Good to see everybody.
dogs are allowed off leash at,
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Alan. Good
Don't
seeing you.
forget, Mark.
Oh, yes, I wrote it down.
I know it's a long book, but boy, there are sure a lot of lessons on how to get things done.
All right, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you bet. And that first weekend in October,
Yes.
I won't be available Friday, Saturday. I've got a
okay,
board meeting down in Philly.
okay.
I don't know, you shouldn't set the date based on me, but that's,
All right.
I will be at the board meeting and the walk.
Okay, terrific. Thank
Super
you.
good. I think you hired a good person in Tabitha.
Oh, I do too, Alan. She's really wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah, she's great.
Nice to see you. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, take care.
Well, it's all over. Yeah. Farm equipment. They're confident. Didn't build a house.